Yeah, positive.
Or this and that, the other.
Okay, so let's get back to the Ishtadel b'shkatzim. Why? The raven was busy with the shkatzim. The Itmar behon, because concerning shkatzim, it is said about this, what is shkatzim? Amei haaretz sheketz. The common people, they are like sheketz. They are like vermin, in a sense.
It's like the Gemara time.
Which one?
You don't trust the Chaver.
Yeah. Begin the Mamona Dilon. So why does the Rebbe want to take care of the simple people? Because of their money.
Who? The Orev?
The Orev, and the Orev wants because of the money. It says Mamon. Simply livelihood, make a living out of Ki Yarat Chokhmat Small, Nivchan La'ashirut, because we said that from the north comes wealth. And the north is also to do with the left brain and Bina, intelligence.
The wealth comes to the north, so does the trouble.
So does the trouble.
Right. Again, this is exactly the same reason. Because it's the predominance, as Rabbi Zeks talks about it quite a lot, how the Western world is built mostly on the left brain conceptions, which comes from Rome and comes from
The north.
compared to us, it's not.
Compared to us,
And Greece and so forth, the uses of the left brain, which is also very, very materialistic, very mundane, It's because he says the wisdom of the left, this has to do with wealth. Because if I have a sharp mind, I can make a lot of business, like jobs, כמו שאמרו חז"ל, as our sages says, הרוצה להעשיר יצפין. Whoever wants to become rich, go north, young man.
Yukon territories, right?
Or you can say, hide away your money.
Oh, Yatzpin. It's cute.
Like Afikoman.
Word for north means to hide.
Tzafun, you remember Afikoman? You hide Afikoman, Tzafun, right? אבל הדבוק בשמאל נסתם ממנו אור התורה. But if you're too much tied to the left side, you're just looking for your benefits, right? What benefit you can come from, to get out of it, so to speak. The real light of the Torah becomes shut off from you. והוא כעם הארץ. So then, even though you might know Torah, you're still like a simpleton. וזה שכתוב להשתדל בשקצים. That's why the Zohar says, he makes efforts, the raven, concerning shkatzim. שהם בחינת עמי הארץ, the simple-minded, the simple people, ועשה זה כדי לנוק מן החוכמה שבשמאל, שנקרא השירות. So he does it so he can get into more and more details. The left brain, from that comes a lot of richness. I mean, you know a lot of things. You impress people, and this makes you very rich. Details. People love people who give a wonderful lecture about, details and stuff. וזה שכתוב בגין ממונה דלא, because of their money. ולא השתדל בשליחותי לאדרי צדיקה. He didn't make efforts in his real job as a messenger to bring back the tzaddikim in tshuva. דהיינו להחזיר בני נינווה, as Jonah was supposed to do, bring back the people of Nineveh in tshuva.
Bring back the tzaddikim in tshuva?
Yeah, tzaddikim. Even called Nineveh because it's very interesting that time Nineveh, it's quite amazing because all of a sudden, he just said it and everybody says, wow, we did bad, That's tzaddikim. They admit right away that they did something wrong. And the king fast and the animals fast.
Just had to be reminded.
Yeah.
It just seems counterintuitive to have to bring back tzaddikim.
Yeah.
And tshuva as if tzaddikim needed tshuva.
Sure.
That's the whole point. This is the exact point. They're leading everyone in the wrong direction. They're not leading people in the right way. They're being leaders and they're not getting to the goal.
There's a whole literature on how tzaddikim make tshuva, because everyone's supposed to make tshuva. So how do you make tshuva if you have no bad deeds? So the whole literature, I'd like to, what Rav Kook says very quickly is, in things that are permitted, you make yourself better. Like, you know, you control your eating better, whatever it is.
Right, be more physical. He was into physical fitness, for example, Rav Kook, taking care of your body.
But the Zohar looks a much more deeper. The Zohar simply says that
always studying.
tzaddikim, from the chest up, let's say you were born into a holy family, you know, and you have a holy father, and you grow up as a tzaddik, yeah? Meaning that you do everything properly, and you learn Torah, everything. But this is the Zohar, this is from the chest up, because the real tzaddik is one that had dove, just like as we will learn with the Yonah, dove deep into the seas, into the subconscious mind. Yes, it's not a question of just doing something on the surface, so to speak, and being perfect on the surface. It's you have to relearn the whole Torah again, and you only get that by going into your own subconscious mind, checking yourself, not just what you know you did good, but things which from your previous Gilgulim, to know yourself much deeper. You have to be much more open to experiences, hear and see much more subtly God's messages which He sends all around you, you know. And this is more difficult. This is what I wanted to say, that the Dov Ber was a Kabbalist, he was a great learner, he didn't want to waste time even going to be healed by the Baal Shem Tov until the family forced him. But the Baal Shem Tov showed them through direct experience spiritual nevuah, right? You need nevuah, Rav Kook says. How do you get nevuah? Most people who are involved in religious nevuah, this is, you know, this is for, in the old days, this is for special people. You know, people are afraid to... Shotim, yeah, this is very common, you know.
Common knowledge.
Nowadays people will say, as a joke, or, you know, when I ask you, what do you think will come out of the situation? You know, the prophecy was given to fools and all sorts of stuff. But nobody mentioned that the Gemara says prophecy was given to the wise.
Right.
But nobody mentioned that, never. I never heard anybody ever mention that, you know. No. Always the negative side. Wisdom. So you get a higher type of wisdom from a tzaddik who is like the Yonah, so to speak, as you see the symbolism, like the great, like Rashbi or Baal Shem Tov, that they had nothing to do. For instance, Rashbi, how did he get all this depth? Because he had nothing to do. He was 12 years inside, he's meditating all the time, and he's digging deep into the Torah. And you see, Moses got all of these mitzvot because he understood the depth of human character, the negative and the positive, you know. And the real tzaddikim go deeply into understanding. It's not just doing the mitzvah or avoiding. You have to see what this mitzvah, did this guy do this avera, or humanity is off the track, what causes this problem in humanity? You know, it's much more deeper than just avoiding and doing, you know. It's like a psychiatrist or a doctor. You have to be able, first of all, to diagnose. Most people don't know how to diagnose, you know, properly. Most doctors are also just, what do you say, sandlarim, you know, shoemaker. Most people are very simple. Likewise in Chachamim.
But in this day and age, a lot of tzaddikim are closed within their own communities. I mean, you got to look at the world. One of the biggest problems you have today is what's happening in the world.
Here, this is a shlichut, for instance, right?
There you go, perfect, exactly.
God sends you now all the way to Nineveh, right? Who is doing work in Tel Aviv? You know, just a few special people. Right. Adam stays in Tel Aviv because there's a lot of work over there. Everybody wants to go with the holy city, right? Ir HaKodesh, Bnei Brak, or Yerushalayim. You want to be safe.
You want to be safe. You don't want to
okay, this is a problem. Okay.
You don't want to talk about the army. You don't want to talk about social problems. You want to be in your community and stay in the community, and then you get very holy. This
is part of the Galut mentality, because, you know, the old times we were culture, and you had nowhere to hide, really, in the sense. Israel was Israel, you know.
Right. You know, the ghetto was created in Chutz La'aretz in Europe, and we took it on, and now we're making a ghetto in our own country.
Yeah.
It boggles the mind, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, we have to.
We do have shlichim as well as non-Lubavitch shlichim.
Yeah, sure.
In Tel Aviv.
Yes. There's a lot of young people, a lot of good people doing work, definitely.
But that's training of the tzaddikim.
Yeah.
The ones who stay in their communities are tzaddikim to a limit.
So he says that he didn't bring back the tzaddikim, דהיינו להחזיר בני נינווה בתשובה, which he succeeded the minute he spoke to them, מבחינת קו האמצעי. This is the midline. ועל כן, therefore, אף על פי שקו השמאל הוא הגורם לקו האמצעי, that the left line is the cause which brings forth the middle line, שיעשה ויגמור השליחות כנ"ל, so that if the left line was doing, if I was using my brain in the proper way, then I wouldn't have had to have a midline, so to speak. If Isaac was completely just doing exactly what only the biddings of Abraham in the simple sense, yeah, then you never have to sacrifice him. You never have to. You don't have to raise him up le'olah, which the Zohar would say simply that the gvurot, the forces or the fire which we have, how do we sweeten them? We take them back up to the source where they came from originally, and where they came from originally, they were like the salt in the sea with the water, perfect harmony. So that the salt or the gvurot are not separated and they burn you, so to speak, right? And the sea is the source of life, yeah, so to speak, right? So the idea is how do you perfume or sweeten the gvurot? Is you have to take them all the way up to the root. This is why we say many times from modern stories of people who had clinical death. You took up soul, traveled back up. I mean, your normal consciousness traveled back up to the soul, experience it, and that's sweetened. Then your whole mind is now as far as what life is all about. This is what Olah is. Because now I'm going to use my mind, as these people say, to do good in the world. Right? Now they don't forget anymore. Now they're so strong, realizing what life is all about. And this is the idea of sweetening the left brain. So that's very difficult. Right? This is the idea of the meditations and nevuah, because this is a state where your normal consciousness becomes attached to its root, high consciousness. That sweetens your outlook on life. You appreciate life and so forth. Right? So he says that if we had used our left brain properly, then we would not have to have this whole business of learning how to bring forth a midline or a piece between the right and left, not just a piece, but that each one works the way it's supposed to work, meaning that chesed comes from up down, like rain, you need water, but the gvurot, or the wisdom, our discriminating mind just comes from the bottom up. You have to have a lot of experience, so to speak, right? Not isms or conceptions, again, right? This is what it means that wisdom should come from the bottom up. That you are so quiet, so passive that you're not reacting. You're really waiting to see where the sun is shining to show you what has to grow, what wisdom you had within you, what seeds are within you. משום שלא נתכוון לזה. So he says, even though the raven didn't actually have in mind to do that, but the appearance of, as the Chaim said before, of my negative aspects about me, right? This causes me to seek out the midline, to learn how to build the midline. ונודע, and it is known, שאין קו שמאל נכנע להתחבר עם הימין, that the left line does not surrender to unify with the right line. This is a big problem, because once I have knowledge, I don't, people say, well, use that knowledge to do good. Yeah, I do good, I make money, I give people jobs, I make good, but really what I care about is really, again, my own. So I don't really surrender to the right line. Yeah, I say, yeah, you're right, but we're all doing what he's supposed to do. אלה על ידי התעוררות המסך דחיריק שבקו האמצעי הממעטו מגר. So he says that the left line never surrenders to the right line until the The third dot, the chirik, which is called masach. Masach means screen. How do I explain to you like the screen? The screen is, let's say, the other day when I started to get angry with Chaim, meaning that the screen is something I heard, and right away it hits someplace within me. This is like the screen, and I reacted. So this is a screen is very high over here in the head, and therefore you react very quickly. Yeah. But he says that the only time you really learn to build the midline is the screen is very low. I mean, you can take in all the world, whatever people curse you, you don't react because the screen is way below your body. You're willing to sacrifice yourself, you're willing to. So this is the chirik, that's below the body. So until you want to be in that state, you can never fix really the midline in the real way. You can do compromises, you can do many things, but to really see the full picture clearly, it's only when you want to become a tzaddik and you start the whole process. And the first process, hamemato miger. First of all, you give up your addiction to your knowledge. You don't stop learning Torah, you don't stop learning anything, you keep learning. But your addiction to think, I know, and this, And this is the shchita, this is giving up the ger, okay? First of all, you take away the head of the left side. This is what it means. That first of all, you have to realize that whenever you really understand something, I love that, this is great. And this stays with you all the time, and it's like blinds you all the time because you're so addicted to it, right? So the first thing we have to give up, be able to be humble enough to say, okay, I got another idea, wonderful, I understood this. Take it with salt. And then, like the Baal Shem Tov says, bring yourself down, I'm just a human being. No matter how much I know, I'm just a simple human being anyway, V'zeh sod she'ona. Therefore, this is the secret of the dove. She'ad avuk b'smol. Right. Now he's going back to Jonah. Okay, which is naturally for a human being. We're a human being.
But when you said before that the left won't mix with the right, but I think what he's saying is the left will mix with the middle. He was talking about the middle and the left, and all of a sudden he said the right.
Only first of all, when you first of all cut off its ger. Okay? Because look at your own psychology. This is what I mean is tzaddikim, to chozer b'tshuva. You have to be able to see how mentality really works, your own mentality, And this is already self-analysis. This is much more difficult. So he says over here that the Yonah, she'ad lavuk b'smol, nishtach lo mkeh te'omot hayam. Jonah, who had his conception of saying, well, I'm not going to go to Nineveh, I'm not going to go to these sinners in Tel Aviv, or I won't go to these leaders or to these great rabbis, because they have their own conceptions and nothing will help. They won't change.
They're not going to listen.
They're not going to listen to me, Right? Because, okay, this is my conception, right? I have a block.
Yonah himself had a different reason.
Doesn't make a difference, but look at your own self. As we have, no, I'm not going to deal with this. I can't deal with this. It's beyond help. So this is like Jonah said, no, I'm not going to go. I'm not going. But it's a waste of time or whatever. And so because he refused his mission, God, roundabout way, throws him deeply into the Te'omot Yam. Nishlach le'emek Te'omot Hayam. He was thrown into the depths of the sea. Asher Te'omot Hayam hu sod shlitat hamasar b'chei. That the depths of the sea is the secret of the control of the masach dechek. This is a state where you're forced to completely surrender. Like people you're about to completely break down, practically. Or let's say you became a drunkard or a drug addict. Then you come to a state where you have no choice anymore.
Rock bottom.
Rock bottom. You hit rock bottom, So this is the idea of the tzaddik, because now as you come to the place where, there's no more, you cannot lie anymore. There's nothing to protect. You are naked. Everybody sees what you are,
Is that the idea in Rosh Hashanah? You have the Ashlag with Tzulot Yam, right? You go Latashlik, right? It's all about the depths of the sea.
Yeah, this is it's similar. This is more like what I went with Chaim once to listen to one of the Komarno rabbis, and
What?
Komarno, the Rebbe of Komarno. There's a few brothers. They're all great rabbis, great Kabbalists. So he said his experience meeting or going to a, halfway house or something like that, where people who are addicted, and you meet these people and you talk to them. You see these people once, millionaires, lost everything, lost their family because they became addicted, lost everything, their homes, the family doesn't want to have to do with them, Horrible. So these people were so loving each other, the group, and there's nothing to hide, They're so open to each other. And since this is the Masach Dechirik, this is when you have two ways to get to it. One is that God throws you there because your life is so messed up, And the only way God can wake you up is just throw you into a hell, an inner hell, and you get to the place where, wow, I got to start solving. I'm so confused and so. This is the Masach. This is the Atlas taking the world upon his shoulders. He's going to you have to reinvent yourself. You're not in the shallow sense, but you recreate yourself, mamash, right? Or you had the great Hasidic master. That's what they did. They just went to the galut, meaning that they usually just travel without bare necessities, didn't live in a city, maybe like Rabbi Akiva, and they're just living like simple people, and learning Torah, and you get no benefit, nobody's paying you, so there's nothing to entice you, like the shkatzim, You become a Rebbe, you got a post, you get a salary, which is unheard of in the old days, So this pulls you, so you're not going to do the job completely, you're not going to do it right? So Jonah is there, the symbol is throws you two ways. You can go there by your own choice. This is the depths of the Kabbalah, is that it gives you the depths of psychology, so you can go into yourself. You can dive in and slowly see your inner motivations, inner roots, what causes you to think and to behave, and you do it yourself, You don't go to a psychiatrist. This is going to the sea on your own volition. Like we have divers, people love. But over here as a symbol, he's forced into the situation, unlike the dove, which Noah sends and he does this. But this is more close to our life as human beings, that we don't want to do God's bidding because we are born in a body, and we do what is good for us.
Ravens were a bunch of ravens.
A bunch of ravens. So it says the beginning, Jonah was like a raven. He's just looking out for himself. Self-respect. I don't want to make a fool out of myself, talk to these people and they laugh at me, throw stones at me or whatever, Okay, so this situation causes you to get to rock bottom, and this is the Masach. The screen, which now the light of God bounces off. Masach means the screen, your threshold. Threshold. Look at that. Everybody has a threshold. How much you can stand or be with another person or hear other opinions, or all interaction with life, you have a threshold, This is the Masach. How much are you willing to take in life? How much could you take? Yeah. So the game can take everything.
Well, what I learned is it's what you can take in that you can give.
No, in the sense of to be able to, the giving is by that you can take it in and not to react, meaning, see, this is part of life, behaving or talking or like the other person that you don't like, you don't agree with him, but you can take it in and try to analyze where does it come from, what happened to him, why is he whatever. Why are they behaving? Without reacting right away as a negative thing. But even when you're reacting, it's like Moses, you are getting direction from above. It's not only your emotions like you did with hitting the rock the second time, which was wrong. This is, again, he couldn't take it in.
But couldn't you also say, why am I reacting so harshly to this person? Why is this?
This is part of the beginning of the analysis.
Process? Why is this true?
Because the Baal Shem Tov says, if you see something negative outside, know that this God is sending you as a mirror reflection of yourself. Yeah. If you can't stand it, it means you have a problem with this yourself. This is why you're reacting. You don't like the situation, yeah? It causes something, irritates something. And this is the idea of the mitzvot taseh velo taseh. It's actually Moses giving you with God the roots of all human problems because of eating from the tree of knowledge. So if you're going to get to fix the tree of knowledge, you have to understand the whole sea. Just like the sea gave us good life, the way we have it now, you should know that the earth was destroyed many times. So it's like a laboratory. So don't think you get the answer right away. You will get to a certain level, you bring forth certain animals, they're not good enough. You destroy yourself and you do another job. This is what it means that tzaddik falls 7 times, gets up. Because you might think, now I got it. Then you open it up, no, I missed it, I didn't get it yet, You fall again, you break down again, and you rebuild. You build, break down, and this is the idea of God, actually the evolution. The physical evolution of the earth, you see it's catastrophes. So he said, God didn't succeed the first time. He destroyed and he's recreating. So it's like telling us a message. Listen, even I, you can do it. Even I didn't succeed, I built, and like you have this beautiful earth now, you can do it too.
But he also was piecing together the nucleus to go out to all the broken.
Of course, all the whatever, yeah. Of course.
It's like us.
Yeah, it's not just the physical world we're talking about. We're talking about, we are interested much more. Physical world is finished in the sense of built already. But now we say on Friday, Aftikon Tevel Bal Timot. Heaven forbid that this phase of the earth shall fall apart like the previous earths. So this is promise of God that He will maintain, because we see we're on the brink of a catastrophe, right? As far as the earth. Yeah? שעל ידי זה נתמעטו גר, the small. He says by Masach Dechirk, when you really surrender, first of all, it's as if you're cutting off yourself. Listen, as all the knowledge I have, I'm still the same idiot as I was. Nothing is really moving. Nothing is. So you are diminishing the power of your left side of Yonah Navi, v'chazar lidaber b'kav ha'emsirus. Now, Yonah begins to pray.
Yeah, that's exactly.
He's the deep in the fish, right? And the fish is like the symbol of the DNA. You're deep inside. You have to recreate yourself. When you begin to pray, so I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. This is when you begin to do real prayer and real work, right? In the depths of sea, because you are feeling the pain and the plight of humanity. Because now you are part of really humanity. You now, you really understand it right now. Right? וכך התקיים רזה דיונה דעל בעומקין דתהום הימה. And thereby will be fulfilled the secret of the Jonah going into the depths of the sea. Okay? This is because Rashbi is telling Moses, because we say that as far as the Messiah, who is the Messiah? Messiah is actually the great souls that we had in history, like David HaMelech, Eliyahu, Moshe, Adam. And the Messiah is the same, it's actually the same soul. Now you put on top of him the Mashiach, okay? So he's telling Moses, you're going to be the Messiah, okay? Right? And that, and just like Yonah was thrown into the depths of the sea, right? You also like the dove, will always dive deeply into the world situation until you wake up that upper soul of yours, which is the Mashiach. Right? This is the upper part of you. שבא בתומות יום כדי שיתמעטו הגר, the small, בסוד המסע בכם. So the point is to get and to feel the depths of pain in the world, so that you take off the ger. First of all, you stop relying on whatever knowledge you have. You cannot rely. You have to pray, says the God, to guide you, because look at the world. Who can say, I can solve the problem of Israel even? I mean, people are crazy. Who can solve it? The whole situation, right? So you got to pray. So by your actions, he's telling Moses, you will go into the depths of the Torah. Okay? This will cause you to dive. This is the real secret of the Kabbalah. The situation forces us to go deeply into the depths of Torah to see how critical the situation is. Oh, we'll stop over here. The Te'ome Oraita, the depths of the light.
That's interesting. So the depths of the sea is the Masach Kehillat.
Yeah.
Think about that whole idea of moving from this Tashlich business.